So for today's demonstration, I want to show you basically in practice, and I chose some just random platform basically that most of our customers probably use. And in today's demonstration, that's going to be a Squarespace website. And also I chose a newsletter platform, which is Kit. We use the Kit at Autograph, so we do recommend Kit. It's pretty easy to use, and the good thing is that it's free to start. But let's begin from absolute start. So the first step of the onboarding, or let's say the integration, to benefit from all of this software would be to actually get chart calculator to your website. Now, the embed codes that you need to get onto your website are located at the integrate chart. I like to call them as a control panels or remote controls, because the embed code basically connects the dots between the tools here at the body graph and the actual chart at your website. And integrating charts into the website is as easy as copying the code and pasting into the right section at the website, which I will show you slightly later. Now, obviously, you need to copy the correct code. We have designated code for Wix websites, designated code for Podia, but the absolute majority of the website platforms uses any platform code. Now, if you will go to Help Center of Bodygraph, there is a group of articles that is dedicated for the integration, and there, under subgroup integration, there are quite a few platforms, and there are step-by-step visual and video tutorials included in these guides. And these platforms probably the ones that majority of our customers use. So you can follow the step-by-step and get chart integrated to your website. Now, if you cannot find the platform listed here, so that means the best idea would be to go to your platform's help center or support. And what most important thing to find out is, first, if your website builder supports custom embedding. If yes, also you need to find out if your plan that you have with the website builder also supports in custom embedding. That mostly apply probably for WordPress themes such as Divi, Elementor, because I think Elementor allows you to embed and see at the backend how it's going to look like. But if you want to make it live at your actual live website, that requires to upgrade the subscription to the paid subscription or advanced subscription. So if you want to have a chart calculator, it's very important to find out if actually your website supports the custom embedding. And that means usually that that your website builder should allow you to include the section which usually will be called code, source code, HTML field, or sometimes even text field. If you, for example, use the classic WordPress and building your website, coding your website, then it's going to be the text field, not the code, not HTML. So as I said, the best advice would be to go to your website builder's help center and to find out which particular section or the block supports custom embedding. That means that that place will be where you need to copy and paste your embed code to. Now, even though specific codes such as Wix and Podia, we're saying that this is designed for Podia and designed for Wix because these are the platforms that a lot of our customers use, and this embed code is tailored to that particular, for example, platform, because the integration to, let's say, these platforms is slightly different. But let's just say you lack information on your website builder's platform about custom embedding. You have HTML field or you have code field or in the embed code field, the best would be to actually test it. Maybe copy and paste one embed code, see if your, let's say, HTML or code or embed code section at your website reads actually script and shows the form for you. If it doesn't, then probably you can switch, okay, test it Wix. Maybe that's going to work with your website builder. If not, again, switch it to Podia, test it. I will say for you one example. Podia, yes, it's designated for Podia. But if you have, let's say, landing page at Canva, Podia links with the Canva landing pages. So you can actually get, it's a little bit wonky because Canva website is not actually full-on website, but it Canva's, let's say, landing page creator has an app with the custom embedding, which actually is capable of reading the Podia's link. That means that you can have a chart calculator at the Podia's landing page. So here you go, even though it's designated to the Podia, but that doesn't mean that you cannot try it on the different platforms and test it if it actually works. Now let's go and try to, for example, let's see how long it takes to get the embed code on the website together. And for this demonstration, as I mentioned, I have Squarespace website, dummy website that I just created demonstrating something on a different tutorial. And I will be getting the chart integrated here today. Now, once you will start a subscription, most likely you will have just one embed code, which will be default embed code. But for today's demonstration, I will press create new button and create completely new embed code just to show you how you are able to choose what actually you're integrating to your website. So let's say right now, I will create specific embed code for the webinar, and now you can choose whether you want to integrate standalone chart calculator, for example, for traditional human design chart only, or for astrology only, or maybe you prefer to read it as mandala only, or relationship only, or cycles or transits only. So that drop down basically gives you opportunity to choose that standalone or the first facing chart calculator for your integration. Now also you can mix and match. So choosing, for example, human design as that very first chart that customers will see when they will visit your website. Or you can mix and match and say, okay, I want maybe all, or maybe I want astrology and traditional, or whatever. So choice is yours. I will choose all on purpose just because I want to show you how it looks like. And I will proceed with pressing next. Now I will copy the code and let's go to my testing website. Now, obviously, you will need to make a decision where you want your integration to appear. My one will be straight on the home page. So I will go and edit this website, add additional section, blank section for my embed code only. Make sure that it is not colored, so it actually does not add any too dark background. Obviously, if you're later you can customize the chart, and if your chart is super light colors and your text are in super light colors, then it's absolutely fine. It goes absolutely well with the dark backgrounds. But to begin with and to test it, the best would be the white background. And now I will add a block, which is going to be the code block. And this is the place where I need to edit and add that embed code, which I copied previously. And now, this is the very common mistake, for example, and that applies for majority of the website builders. Embed code is embedded. I can save it and progress, for example, with my integration, but this space is super limited, meaning that most likely the chart itself, when it it will expand or open all the features that it has to show, will not have enough space to expand, most likely will look squished, overlapping. So it's highly advisable to actually expand that as wide as you can, ideally to the full width of the website, and give a little bit more space in height. Save it. Now I will exit, and you will see that it should actually demonstrate a form. If I will go to the live preview, you will see that the form is right now working and it's fully integrating. So as you can see, it took me under a minute to actually get it in there. Now I can go and, for example, test it. You can obviously tell me, well, Viktorija, it doesn't match my branding colors. Correct. It doesn't match my branding colors, but that can be easily adjustable. This is fully functional chart, meaning that customers can go and run the chart, okay? So most likely your embed code when you will create will have a default default design assigned and default English language assigned. So that's what's going to be shown at your integration to begin with. Default is in very light colors. My one default is edited. That's why it's a little bit in different orangey color. But yours one is like very subtle colors. Form has a standard white background. So if you are very business focused and want to have a chart calculator as quick as possible, I would say go ahead and integrate. Plus, when you will start your subscription, you will have quite a few languages to choose from. I don't have it. This is my testing account, so I probably got rid of the other languages, but we usually have Italian, Polish, French, Spanish, I think traditional Chinese, Vietnamese languages already available by default, meaning that that integration, and that's why I like to call it control panel. So I basically can say, okay, chart integration, use this particular language, okay, or chart integration, use this particular design. So I can go into particular tool. For languages is my content, for design is my design tool, and create what I like. Let's just say for today's webinar, because my website is in like black and red colors, I created earlier black and red design. So I can go ahead right now and tell my integration, here you go, I want to use black and red design. So right now, if I will go to my website and refresh it, it should show the newly updated design for my form. And also if I will run the chart, it will give me my updated colors for the chart as well in the black and red. So this is the first step, the integration to the website. Now, obviously, you can go ahead, change the fonts, change the backgrounds, change the design, visual, adjust the language at my content tool. But question, is it necessarily to actually start integration? I will say definitely not, especially if you're running with the language that we usually have as default. The idea when you have a subscription to get that chart on the website as quick as possible and get that running as quick as possible, because you want the subscription price to pay back as quick as possible, right? So the idea is to get that chart calculator as quick as possible, and then adjust as you go, adjust the colors, adjust the font, because let me tell you, very honest fact from my experience, 2 years experience right now with Bodygraph, people who come across the spirituality, human design, astrology, they usually got some sort of, I don't know, issue, life challenge, or they're on the spiritual path to find the best version of themselves. And they're coming across to human design or astrology tools, and they don't care about the choices of your fonts, your colors. They finding solutions, answers, advice, the best practices, how to put into, into their life so that they could actually achieve that change that they desire. And therefore, it's just, as the business people, I do understand that branding is super important, but sometimes we get stuck like, oh my God, my chart is not yet in the correct font. There's no such thing as correct font. It's just your preference, right? And you can adjust it at a later date, and nothing is going to happen, if you will have 10 or 20 customers beforehand run chart in the different colors. So the idea is to complete the first step is to get the chart calculator integrated to your website as quick as possible. The different story a little bit would be if the language that you want to use is not available as a default language. That means that you would need probably to make a translation for a particular language yourself. And for that, we have an export and import feature, which allows to export the Excel file, make the translations, and import your translated values into my content. So that would delay slightly integration, because obviously if your entire website is in, let's say, I don't know, language which we don't have, let's say Czech language, so it will randomly, you will not integrate the English language. Obviously you want to do that translation beforehand. So that's the only thing that should delay. But if the language already available, I wouldn't say don't delay, integrate the chat and adjust as you go. So that's the first step of the onboarding. The second step of the onboarding is the lead collection. And for the lead collection, now you first at the design, you are able to actually turn on the email field, meaning that the customers who will run the chart will leave the email with you. So the first where this email will land is at your account at the statistics. You will be able to see which embed code, the person's name, and who ran this chart. So the lead lands here. The lead is basically the email of the customer. You can click as well on the chart and open customer's chart to see their details. This is very valuable information. However, statistics here is to track the performance of your integration, but we keep the data at our service for 90 days only, meaning that as soon as that very last input reaches 90 days mark, it gets deleted from our servers. Now, the reason being because, you can imagine our customers have their customers who run like millions of charts every month, and to save them all at our service is just pretty much impossible. So for that reason, if you want to collect leads and data about the customer and keep it for as long as you wish, or for as long as your customer does not decide to unsubscribe, you would need to connect either newsletter or data collection app. And now we have, if you will go to my apps, we have quite few apps integration, direct app integrations available. So you will find probably the most popular newsletter platforms here, such as ActiveCampaign, Flowdesk, MailerLite, Kit, MailChimp, Brevo, and all of them good. Probably if you did not make up your mind which one to choose, it's just a little bit of homework to do and see what platforms offers what. Some platforms require to have paid subscriptions right away to collect the data, because you will require to get the credentials to make the connection. So to reach the credentials, some platforms, for example, Flowdesk, will require to have a paid subscription. And some platforms such as Kit, which we do recommend, and a lot of our customers using Kit, MailChimp, Brevo, MailerLite allows to make a connection and start collecting data for completely free. So it's worth to look at. You only need to upgrade the subscription when you actually want to start sending emails, build the email sequences, and start that marketing part of your business. Now, if you do not see the platform that you usually use as the integration, that doesn't mean that you cannot connect it for sure, because we have a webhook and we have a Zapier integration as well. So now if your platform is compatible with Zapier, if Zapier has your platform's integration, or via webhook, there is another platform which is called make.com. So if those platforms got your platform integration for the contact creation step, that means that Zapier or that make.com and using our webhook would be used as a bridge. So Bodygraph would be connected with Zapier and Zapier to your platform, or Bodygraph connected to make.com and make.com connected to your platform, meaning every single time when someone comes to your website and runs the chart, that data will be sent straight to one of these platforms or the ones that you connected via Zapier or webhook. Now, this connection allows to collect not just an email and name of the customer. Some of the platforms, not all of them, depending on their API, obviously, but Kit, the one that we recommend, has a full package of the data collection. What I mean full package, that it allows to collect the tags and custom fields. Not all of them. All of them allows to collect the custom fields. Not all of them allows to collect tags. Now, what are the differences between these two? So tags allow you to sort your subscribers. So that comes in handy when you want to send very targeted emails. For instance, let's say you have super announcement for projectors only, or you're running event for projectors only. That means you can buy the tag, add the kit, or other platform that supports tag. You can sort your subscribers to projectors only and send that email just for that part of the subscribers. So tags very important for that sortation and segmenting who you're sending particular information to. Now, the custom fields, meaning that you're collecting that additional data about the customer. So not just the name and the email comes by default to your app. But you can also collect the date of birth, place of birth, the age, if that's important to you, the type. But probably most important data that you can collect apart from the email is their link to their chart. This link to the chat never expires, and therefore that means that you can kind of lock in the customer with you. What do I mean by that? So you can set up the welcome email at your newsletter platform, for instance, Kit, and say, hello, blank, this is the link to your chart, blank. So when person will come across the human design or astrology, for example, topic with friends, with the family, or at the event, they know that they have that link somewhere in their email. So they can just open the chart. They don't need to submit the form anymore. And they can click that link as many times as they would like. That means they know they have their chart in their email. Most likely they will save it, highlight it. So it locks in the customer with you. And since they have it in their mobile, most likely they will recommend your website as well for the friends, for the family at the event. So you will gain more customers. Now, if you're not sharing this link to the customer, so they just, let's say, generate a chat on your website, but they don't receive a link to the email, that means that, okay, I don't have nothing at my email. I don't have link. So if I will come across to the topic of human design, what I will do? Most likely I will Google it. And that if I will Google, most likely I will not end up coming back to you, right? I will see what's on top of the list, right? So sharing that chart URL locks in the customer with you because they know that they have their chart ready in their pocket probably. because we all have right now our emails at mobile phones, right? So this is very important part of the business. Newsletter apps allow you to set up them automated emails and email sequences. Then the world is your oyster when you're collecting the data, what you want to do. You can send the reminders, let's say after a month, and say like, oh, a month ago, you, for example, generate a chat at my website. Did you purchase the report? If not, come back. Here is the link that I got this and that and whatever report. Now, after maybe 2 months, okay, did you buy a report? Do you want to put it in practice? As the reader, I can help you to do so. This is the link to my scheduling calendar. So those emails will be sent automatically, and the trigger will be incoming subscriber. They kind of get pushed into that sequence, and that means that you don't need to sit down and send the emails manually, because system recognizes, okay, this customer with you already a month, time to send an email. This customer is already 2 months, time to send an email, whatever email you will set and whatever information you want to provide. So this is big part of your marketing, basically. And I have a kit example here. So again, if I will go to settings and developers place, this is the place where I can get my API to copy. And all I need to do is put the API key, and the same place is API secret, copy and paste it API secret. Save, test the connection. Now another thing for the kit example that I will need probably, but I did it before this meeting, showing for another customer, that you will need to create the form. So if you will go to the forms, create new one. I already did that. To choose any sort of the form, we're not going to embed this particular form at your website, but creating the form allows you to attach it to particular forms. So I attached it to body graph form, saved it, and sent the test data. So this connects right now body graph with the kit, and that means I can come back to the embed code where we started my webinar embed code and say that, okay, I want kit to be connected, meaning right now this form, if I will refresh it, will have an email field because I enabled it on my design. And if someone will run this chart, that will end up in my kit because that's connected with the kit. I know it looks easy when I show it. It's not so easy, when customers finally go and try to set it. It's quite technical. My best advice probably would be to refer to the help center again for every single platform of the newsletter apps. Or if you choose the data storage app, now what's the difference? Data newsletter app is the one that allows you to automate email sequences. Data storage is just to collect the data, but it's not purpose to send emails. Like Notion and Airtable is more for collect the data and maybe build the automated statistics for yourself and see how many type generators of the subscribers I have. So it's more for tracking what sort of subscribers you are attracting. So these are two different tools. And if you're not planning, for example, to send emails, then but you want to collect the data, then maybe Airtable and Notion is the good solution as well. Also, since we have a Zapier integration, and if you just want purely collect the data, you're not sure yet what you're going to do, you're not sure whether you will go over that 90 days that actually is stored as statistics, but you want safely store the data somewhere. So Zapier also compatible with Google Sheets. That means you can, and it's totally free, and it's enough to have a free Zapier connection just to collect that data from the customer, including the chart URL as well, the email into Google Sheets. And Google Sheets allows you to save the CSV file, meaning that if at the later date you will decide, okay, it's time for me to build the email sequence. So most of these platforms allows you to import that data into the platform as long as you have that exported as a CSV from the Google Sheets, and you can get into the platform and start using that data as a subscribers and set the email sequences. So that's the second part of the onboarding. First part integration, second part connecting the newsletter data collection app to collect the leads, collect the emails of the customer. This is your most potential customer because you got that sort of trust. They visited your website already at least once because they ran the chart at your website, meaning they are more likely to buy your services and your readings or future reading reports because they kind of know you. Okay. Oh, I recognize this website. I ran the chart there, rather than random stranger from social media or wherever you're advertising yourself. And now, final step would be the reading reports. So we do advise to begin with whatever is available. So what is available? If you see there is a banner that says templates and reports ready to use. Now, once you will subscribe, most likely the account will be empty, or there will be several PDF download templates available at your account and nothing else. But we have templates listed at this banner. So what comes with the content? With the content comes some lead magnets. Well, Christmas, human design and Christmas astrology probably right now is inaccurate, but you can download it and keep it to use it for next Christmas, for example. Health report, relationship report, and Karen's Quantum Human Design 12-page mini report is available for you to use, meaning that you can click on it, select your preferred format, and install into your account. It comes already with the content pre-designed. You can make this live at the website in pretty much no time. I will show you shortly how. They are fully editable except Karen's design. Karen's design is copyrighted and built in her own design. So you can edit only first page and last page of the report to add your branding and to add the details about your scheduling calendars and maybe other services that you have to offer. Now for a little bit in-depth reports, we have two reports that are free to use. So it is Midnight Dunes and Karen's Quantum Human Design report. Now they are very similar in structure. They have type, profile, authority, and defined centers. The difference is that it is Midnight Dunes is written in traditional human design language versus to Karen's report that is built in a quantum human design terminology. And again, Karen's report, first page and the last page is editable, and the Midnight Dunes is fully editable, meaning that you can change it completely to look like, I don't know, in your branding colors, all right? We have some premium reports that comes with the content. That's not unnecessary to buy right now because premium reports require single payment for the installation. After installation, you can edit it, you can duplicate, make various versions of it, but premium reports require that single payment for the installation. But enough, probably for the onboarding, it's enough to actually release what is already available. So for example, health, relationship, Midnight Dunes, and Karen's reports at integration and start selling some of them, maybe one to use as a lead magnet, let's say health or relationship or Karen's report as a freebie, and sell the rest of them at your integration, right? Midnight Dunes is quite a good mid-range report. I saw the customer selling it somewhere between $35 to $50. So sale of 2 reports a month will pay back basically a subscription price. So after installation, and this is an example of the Midnight Dunes, you can click on it and start editing, or not even editing. I will tell you that very business-minded customers that I see usually have integration in default colors, quickly connecting whichever platform they can, whichever offers the free subscription, just to collect the data, because every single platform allows to export and import data from whichever platform you export it, because that downloads CSV, right? So if you are super business minded to get that working as quick as possible, I saw customers launching it in original colors as it is. Later on, you can come back, for example, because you can install these templates multiple times, or you can duplicate, for example, report and make edits to match your branding. Once you update it and made edits, you can turn off this original colored report and release your version. So I would say make the integration and all the connection as quick as possible, and I said adjust as you go, right? So that's the correct business mindset basically. But as I said, the majority of the reports apart from currents allows you to completely customize the report, make it in completely your branding colors. We have a lot of features of at the report tool that allows you to upload your designs, your logos, your fonts, and you can create the designs that you desire for human design or for the astrology. Now, the main feature, whether you're building astrology or you're building human design or maybe you're building frequency report, is the little rectangle above each page. This says, I will zoom in slightly, visible for everyone. Now, generic pages such as cover page, what's human design page, maybe about me page, summary pages, chart page. Obviously, you want everyone to be at their PDF, so you will keep it visible for everyone. But when you will start building specific report for specific, let's say, human design or astrology activation, let's say this my page is dedicated for the generators with the content for the generators, meaning I can click on that rectangle, menu pops up, and I say that this is for type generator. Or if I build a report for zodiac signs, for example, astrology report, I will say that this is for zodiac sign, for example, zodiac sign areas in sun or whatever you build at this page, right? So what system does, when someone runs that chart on your website, or you can test it at a preview, it cherry picks activations of that person. So that includes pages that are visible for all, such as intro pages. And then this date of birth is projectors, so it picked projectors page. This date of birth has a splenic authority, so it shows splenic authority. It picks up the person's profile. As you can see, I don't see any other type pages or any other authority pages or profile pages, even though if you will see, I have here generator, manifesting generator page for each. But this is where automation happens. When someone runs the chart, and that report widget is generated for customer to either download freebie or purchase the report, it has that combination of the pages already based on their date of birth and location, human design or astrology or frequency activations. So this is how this all automation happens. Now, very often during the one-to-one onboarding calls, I get asked if it's, for example, possible, because quite a lot of you probably already manually cherry picking pages, combining the PDFs and sending for the customer, and most likely have that built somewhere on the file at your computer or maybe at the Canva. And I get asked, is it possible just to get that content that you have just to dump in, import, or get that from Canva and import in here? The answer is no, it's not that easy. Because our report builder is slightly different because of that particular calculator, that it recognizes the content on the page and shows activated content for the customer. So it's not easy just to get in the content, meaning that if you have the report ready-made somewhere, you still will need to build the report here, but it's as easy as copy pasting your contents probably from somewhere. If you have it at Canva, you are more than welcome to, for example, export complete page as an image for the cover page, for example, and your most used elements, maybe some frames, maybe some illustrations or something, so that you usually use at the report, and then start building your report. But the content itself, the text itself, should be copy pasted into the report. I will tell you very honestly, very first report will take probably the longest to build, because you're starting from scratch. I'm talking about your own report with your own content. You're starting from scratch, basically from the blank page. But every other report, if you want to keep consistency, to keep your branding, so most likely the cover page will remain the same, maybe with the slight adjustments. So you can save cover page or other most used pages as a template. So that will be listed under the templates and then my templates section, meaning if I will build the other report, I can just include the blank page and add that cover page, for example, that I created earlier, maybe make a slight adjustments, delete what I don't like it, and it's ready to go. So that initial report, very first report that you will build, will take obviously the longest to build, but every other report will take less and less time, because you will have ready-made content pages on here, and that will become way easier. So now let's just say I'm happy with how this report looks like. So if it's free and I want to make it live at my website, is as easy as going back to your remote control or the embed code and say, okay, embed code, make this report live. And it's just toggle on, and that is live on your integration. If you want to sell it, that requires to connect another app, and this is going to be a payment app. Now, if you're building the website at the WordPress, then you can use the WooCommerce or the rest of the payment methods. If you're using any other platforms, then you have three options to choose from: a Stripe card, PayPal, or Stripe integration to make the connection with the app. Again, if you will go to the Help Center, we have each of the payment app and each connection and discount codes explained here. So you can make the connection. Once connection is made, before I'm releasing that report live on the embed code, is just to set up the payment, select that app that I just connected, give it a price, select the currency that I want to sell it at, and click Save. And that means that a report is no longer free right now. When someone will run the chart on my website, they will see that report widget, which will state the price, and they will be redirected to that app checkout page before they're actually able to download that report. So this is the final step to get that ready. Integration, newsletter connection, and releasing the reports that are already available. Yes, they might be not your maybe niche related content. Who cares if you are a very business minded person? You will just release it as long as you're communicating for your customers. Let's just say you're working specifically with entrepreneurs. So you would say how health or relationship, for example, lead magnet would work if you're working with the entrepreneurs. Well, let's say if you're not successful in love, or if you have a poor health, you most likely will fail in your entrepreneur's life, right? But as long as you're communicating that I'm building my own niche related reports, that this is temporary reports that I have to offer. So the communication to the customers really important, and you can release the reports that, for example, already available while you're building. So at least that starts generating some revenue to pay back Bodygraph subscription price. And at the back end, you can slowly start building your own unique content, niche relating content, and release it whenever it's ready for your customers. A lot of information right now. So that's the end of the onboarding. Now I'm ready for your questions, and I see some questions at the Q&A. Okay, let me see. Okay, so someone says that, okay, Jen, so you're using the Wix website and you tried to install the app and it did not work. Okay, so we no longer have an app for Wix. I will share the screen quickly to show. So that means the subscription that you have is for quite a while. We recently updated our embed codes. The embed code that you have previously looks like this, and that requires app installation. But our new embed codes, if you will press create new button, no longer requires app integration. So if you will go to the new embed code, create new embed code, this is designated embed code for Wix, where you can copy and paste. If I remember correctly, at Wix, it's going to be custom embed section. And this is the code that you just need to copy and paste into that section, and the chart calculator will be populated at the Wix website. So it's not longer through the app. And let's have a look at the chat. I got some few questions. Okay, so first question is, how can you integrate Karen's design into the report? Okay, so Karen's design, quantum human design, is available at the design tool. This is the Karen's design. So if you will go to the reports, you should be able, let's just say if you want to use that, add the report. Let me just add a blank page. And if you will go to the charts section, you should be able to find the Karen's as a standalone chart or as a complete chart, for example, to include into the reports. I don't know specifically what challenges you had by including that specific chart design into the report, but this is the way how you can get it on the report. I hope this answers the question. Okay. Can other people see what you created, assuming you will be copy pasting from Canva? No. So all the languages, all the designs, all the reports that are created at your account is only accessible to you and for the Bodygraph team. Bodygraph team is only accessing your account and your content for the technical support purposes. We are not allowed to copy any of that content, so we are here just to support and fix if something goes wrong. But no one else sees what you create at the account, and no one else can use what you create at your own account. And does anybody use the scheduling platform for readings like Calendly and collect the payments? Yes, so I'm using Calendly, although my scheduling is free, but as far as I remember, Calendly requires to have a paid subscription if you want to actually charge for for the sessions. Same, I think, with the Zoom. Free Zoom allows you to have a calendar to schedule free sessions, but if you want to actually collect the payments, that requires to upgrade to the paid uh, services, for example. I don't know. I don't remember exactly the platform, but I do remember that customers said there are some free subscriptions. That was not, I don't remember, Zoho, something from that. I don't remember the platform's name. probably just need to Google or maybe ask ChatGPT. I don't know. It should be probably, especially nowadays that we have so many platforms and different platforms. You maybe can Google it, what's available for free, so that you will be able to collect the payment for the scheduling without actually paid subscription. Uh, Yeah, no, so if you put your own content on the body graph, you're not giving the right for us to use your content. Absolutely not. You are an absolute owner of your own content, meaning that if you build your own report, this will never go, even if you choose to unsubscribe, leave the body graph for good, that is never going to be used elsewhere. That content goes away together with you. Okay, so you are an absolute owner of your unique content. Okay, Zino. Okay, one more question at the QA, I guess. No, that's the 1 second. Oh, quite few. I just didn't see it. Okay. How can you change the chart or report to default? Can you clarify what does it mean? How to change it to default? Yes, I see Mary, you raising the hand, so you can unmute yourself and ask the question.
Hi, yeah, I
Hi.
saw in the when you have all the charts and there's a green dot next to it, meaning that it's the default one, and then the others are not in use. How can you change that, or is that even relevant to change that?
Okay, yes. So for example, that's a very good question. So you will recognize these green and red indicators at quite few tools. Add the reports, add the languages, add the design. What does it mean? It means whether the the language, the design or report is live at the embed code or not live, attached to the embed code or not. So you can hover over this green indicator and you can see which embed codes this, for example, design is attached to. Now, if you want to make changes, again, that's the reason why I'm calling it remote control, because you can come back to the embed code and say, I want to use default right now, for example, design, or want to use Karen's design here instead of the one that I created. So this is the place where you're telling your integration which language, which design, which app integrations, if you connected them, which reports you want to use specifically at this integration. If this embed code is live at your website. Sometimes I see that customers experimenting, for instance, creating multiple embed codes and then forgetting which one is actually integrated to the website. And they said, I make changes on my embed code and it does not show on my website. And those all changes apply to the wrong embed code. So make sure that you name your embed code very specific, that because no one else sees this name, so you can say very specifically, this one is on my website pretty much, and then that you know that or changes need to be made on this particular embed code. Did that answer the question?
Yes, thank you.
You're most welcome. And then we have a possibility of adding standalone chart or the actual chart of the customer. Can you show me again the difference? Yes, I can show the difference. So what do I mean the standalone chart? So that means when you creating, for example, embed code, so it can be standalone particular type of the chart, for example, just human design or just astrology, or it can be combination. What does it mean, combination? That you're giving an opportunity to choose which chart I want to calculate at your website. So customer, at the time when they visit your chart integration, they can say, okay, I don't want human design. Maybe I want to run astrology chart. That changes to astrology form. I submit. the details, and that should show for me astrology chart instead of the traditional human design. Let me just quickly run the chart, and that shows up for me astrology chart instead of human design. So you depends what you want to integrate to the website. Okay, I have to run to another meeting. So I probably will wrap up right now this call. It was pleasure meeting you, and it's really I'm really happy to see that many of you actually joined. Now, as I said, the support does not end here. Yes, we have Help Center. Yes, we had just this onboarding call. That doesn't mean that you are left alone. There is a email, support@bodycraftchat.com. There is a live chat at your account, the little bubble on the bottom right corner where you can send a message for me. And I will be more than happy to assist. If you cannot find information, if you struggle with something, if you have any generic question because we see tendencies, what works, what doesn't work for our customers, feel free to consult with us, report issues immediately as it happens, and we will be more than happy to help you to overcome those issues. Okay, so I want to wish you the beautiful rest of the morning, day, or the evening, whatever is left for you, and hope to speak to you soon. And feel free, as I said, there is a link in the chat that you can actually copy in and schedule one-to-one onboarding call if you think that you require that a little bit more information. Best of luck, and I'm ending the meeting now. Bye-bye.